Back here with the Hooyah podcast. Missed last week for Thanksgiving, but
Yeah.
we got one more. We're going to do this one, and then we'll be off until after January. Next week's finals, and then Christmas.
Christmas break.
There's lots of downtime, but there's a lot of games too. Basketball is. I swear they're getting their whole season in like the month of January. I mean December. It seems like an NBA schedule. They're playing every single month.
Yeah, that's fun.
And we got Jacqueline Berry with us, and she's going to be our guest. Let's go ahead and recap and look ahead, because there's really not a lot going on now.
Oh yeah, it's
obviously the football game that stunk. That ended the season in San Antonio on Saturday, and they hold on one second.
Yeah,
will you go let Mr. Neese in?
I sure will. Yes, sir.
Sorry,
I'll be right back.
sorry about that. I was getting a text from the head man who's going to join us in a little bit. But football lost to Trinity 34-24. It was a great game. Went right down to the wire. The Cowboys had the ball, driving with about 2 minutes to go, and Trinity's best player, TJ Scannell, made a great play on interception and returned it for a touchdown. That was kind of the difference in the game and at the end of the game, and Cowboys fall 34-24 to Trinity. And then had a lot of basketball going on. Man, it's been a tough stretch for the men. They've lost 5 games in a row. They've really been dealing pretty bad with injuries, especially at the guard position. Like Silas Davis is their point guard. Didn't get to play last night against Concordia. It's not something you want to have when Concordia plays their pressure trapping, whatever they do. I think the Cowboys had 33 turnovers last night. I mean, it was not a good situation. And then Travion House been out for about the last 4 or 5 games, so maybe get some of those guys back and healthy. Matthew played a little bit for the first time this weekend, and they've played a tough stretch. Lost 5 in a row. They're back home to play Laterno on Saturday, and then the women have won 6 in a row after starting the season with a loss to Texas Lutheran at home. As a close, they led most of that game, and then TLU, who's a very experienced, and the Cowgirls aren't. Cowgirls aren't an experienced team by any. We'll get into that with Jackie, but they're not as experienced as that TLU team, and they battled back, and they were able to come back and win that game. And then the Cowgirls have won 6 games in a row, including last night when they played in Seguin, played TLU for a second time, and won that game 57-54. Carol hit a big. Was it Carol or Abby? Abby. Yeah, Abby hit a big 3 in the last, 30 seconds or whatever.
Heck yeah.
And that was I had both games going on at the same time. Because the men were playing and the women were playing. I had one on my TV, one on my laptop, and it was I didn't have the sound on either one of them. I'm like, oh no. And I saw we hit somebody hit a 3 over there in the corner, but I couldn't tell who it was. And then y'all play at University of Dallas on Saturday, and then Austin College on Sunday, and then take the finals off, and then come back and play McMurray on December 13th.
That's always a fun one.
And it's kind of a little different this year because McMurray has a new coach, and it's Laura, what's her name? Laura Lange. She played here. It was Laura Ritchie then, but her and Coach Whitehead were teammates. They were like
really.
They were the 2 post players on those teams, and they played together for 4 years. They're good friends. So big time competitors. So it'll be a different. They're both going to be wanting to win that one. Obviously, anytime you play McMurray, you want to win.
Yeah.
Anytime you play anybody, you want to win. But against McMurray, that will.
I feel like there's a lot of crossover too. I feel like on every episode we mention somebody that was an alum of one school is coaching now. It's so
crazy.
It's
so crazy.
Whole lot of crossover between the two.
But that will be their first career matchup as coaches. So, and McMurray's off to a good start to. I'm not sure what their record. I saw they won again last night, so I think they're like maybe the same record, 6-1, or are they undefeated?
Maybe. I honestly don't know. I don't think undefeated, but I could
Yeah, I can't remember their record, but they've pretty much played the same teams we have. So it seems like we play them one time and then they play them next. So, but I think they're 6-1. They might be 7-0.
Get a check here.
There you go. Here you go. Look it up, Cole.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little fact check here on McMurray women's basketball. They are 5-0.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess they didn't count one. They played Texas A&M Kingsville
As
an exhibition.
The exhibition, yeah.
So they're 5-0. They beat Howard Payne twice, Trinity, and they beat Shriner twice.
Then y'all go to Colorado College the next week after that, playing McMurray, and play Colorado College, who's usually good. I'm sure they're good, and then Wartburg, who's a traditional power. So
yeah,
y'all get several of those coming up. You get to go to Hope. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then right after Christmas, we're hosting a little classic on December 28th and 29th, and that's against Chapman and Concordia Moorhead. So those are two good teams as well. So
another Chapman matchup.
yeah, the Cowgirls are gonna have to, they're gonna.
Yeah, that's a big
it's
one.
It's fixing to get really, really tough. So
This has to be the first time that we've played Chapman.
it's been a while.
Two different sports in the same calendar year.
That's in there. Yeah, and then the men are playing out there. The men are playing out there.
Really?
They're playing
they're
them
going
out there.
to LA. Okay.
So we do have our guest. It's Jacqueline Berry. Jacqueline.
Either or.
Everybody.
Either
It's
or, all right.
Everybody calls her Jackie now, but I on her profile on the website, it's Jacqueline, because if you have to change it, then it's a big deal. So I told her last year, I was like, what do you want it to be? Because that's what it's going to be all the way through, and well, that's fine. Jacqueline she had a great freshman year last year. Let's just look at some of those numbers. She started all 27 games, named the ASC Freshman of the Year, first team All ASC, All Freshman Team, ASC All Defensive Team, and was the D3Hoops.com National Rookie of the Year. She also set the score record for most points scored by a freshman with 376 points. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good debut into.
All right, rookie season. Ryan Simmons.
So, with that brings a lot of pressure.
Definitely. For
Especially on a team that is very young. I mean, we're playing a lot of new faces, and so do you feel that? Do you feel that? I would say the last third of the season last year, you were getting most of the defensive attention, but do you feel that even more this year, that teams are trying to take you out?
Yeah, so first game of the year, I definitely felt it, and it was a little, it caught me off guard a little bit, and I don't really know why, because I should have expected that, but we've made some adjustments, and my team's really stepped up, and so there are definitely moments where the paint's wide open and I'm just able to drive because they're worried about our shooters. We have Dylan Cooley, and her percentage on the three-point line is like 52% right now. So we've got people that are like stepping up, and it's helped me out for sure a lot.
Yeah, that is a big thing. We have shooters all the way around.
Yeah.
Anybody can hit that. I even noticed last night, like, you were getting into the lane and their shooters open. I'm like, and you found them. I'm like, so that's kind of a different element. Like everybody out there has the green light, and they can definitely shoot it. So
yes, absolutely. I don't know. We have a unique ability because we all are really young, but I think we all just spend so much time together, and especially during the postseason last year, a lot of us were able to get to know each other better. And when I drive, it's like I already know where they're gonna be. I already know who's in what corner, who's at the top of the key, and we just have this unique ability to where we're able to read each other really well. Last night in the TLU game, I was driving, and I drive to the left side, and Abby Crow was standing in the corner, and her girl collapsed really hard on me, and I knew she was in the corner, and I just had full faith that she was going to make that shot, and she did. And it was a huge shot that she hit, and just completely gave us a huge momentum boost right there at the end of the game, and definitely needed it for sure.
Yeah, our team is, we don't have a ton of height like your traditional post players, but I think you're 5'11", Dylan's 6 foot. I mean, our guards are bigger than most. I mean, I think that gives us a huge advantage.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Mason's our starting post, and their starting post last night was 6'3", and Mason's 5'10".
Yeah.
So, but we do, like you said, we have some taller guards, and it just kind of evens out. And Coach Whitehead, she has us run the floor. And so last night, for example, we started the game off, and Mason just took off, and we got easy transition points just because we were so quick up the floor.
Yeah, I tell you, they like to slow the tempo down and play a half court. I mean, I think at the end of the third quarter it was 40-39 or something. I mean, there weren't, we're usually, I guess we're probably averaging close to 80 points a game, and there wasn't that last night. It was more of a grinder, and it's good to come out on top of that. We talked a little bit about your season last year, but this year, averaging 14.3 points and 5.1 rebounds a game. She's second in the ASC in scoring by 1 point.
By 1 point, man.
She's only 1 point behind, so I have a feeling she's going to get there.
Plenty of season left to take that spot over at number 1.
9th in rebounding, 4th in assists, 1st in steals, and 3rd in blocks.
9th in rebounding as a guard that's pretty crazy.
That's pretty awesome. I mean,
that's good stuff.
Having a good year. We talked about your team a little bit. It's more of obviously you're gonna score a lot of points. I mean, and y'all have several people that can go for 20 or 25 or whatever. But right now you have 7 players averaging 6 or more points per game, which that's a hard thing to guard too.
Yes. And kind of like you said earlier, sometimes I feel some pressure whenever I drive and everyone just completely collapses on me, or they're always looking at me. But like you said, we've got a lot of people that are averaging more than 6 points. That really, like you said, that's hard to guard. And so they can't focus as much on me because they've got to share the defense, You've got to guard everybody, and that's a huge factor that plays into that for sure.
So you came here from Texhoma, Oklahoma. Most people don't know where that is. It's in the panhandle.
Oh.
It's like the panhandle of Oklahoma. It's really Texas.
Okay.
I'm from Oklahoma, and we don't, the panhandle, we consider that Texas, whatever.
That's right. It's a very small panhandle.
You probably consider yourself Texan, right?
Oh, yes, I do.
Even though it's in Oklahoma, but it's literally right in the middle of the panhandle.
Really?
The Oklahoma the little line at the top. That's basically where it is.
Yeah, so everyone pretty well forgets about that area. If you're in Texas, you consider that part of the state Oklahoma. If you're in Oklahoma, you consider that part of the state Texas. Everyone really forgets about that spot, but the funny thing about my town is that the state line actually runs through it. So my house was in Texas, but my high school was in Oklahoma.
Huh.
So my car has Texas tags and everything, but I had to go to school in Oklahoma. Our post office is in Oklahoma.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't hear that very often.
Not very often. That's literally
crazy.
living on the line.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely a unique situation. It's so weird because growing up there, it's just normal, but then you have to tell people and explain it to people, and they're like, are you making this up? And I'm like, no, I promise. It's a real place.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you learn something new every day.
Oh yeah.
Another thing about Jackie, obviously, are you doing track this year?
You haven't
decided. You haven't decided
I
yet?
don't think so. Just because last year basketball was a lot on my body, and jumping right into track that was pretty tough. But I'm still thinking about it. But as of right now, most likely not.
She was an 8-time state champion.
Do they have indoor?
And no,
Or just
in outdoor. And there's more to this story. You don't have a track at your high school, right?
Right, that is correct.
They don't even have a track.
How did you?
They don't have a track at their high school. She just ran on her own.
What in the world? That's
Eight-time state champion. That's crazy.
Wow. All right. Well, I didn't know I was talking to a living athletic legend from the Panhandle. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, definitely.
Okay. Now I've heard too that I've talked to Coach Burke about it that you didn't have a weight room either.
Right. Yeah. So, super small town. Like my graduating class was 25, and I mean, it was just lifting wasn't necessity. Like you went to class and you went to practice, and that was about it. We had maybe a couple workouts here and there in the summer, and that was about it. But it was nothing consistent at all.
So y'all didn't compete in the UIL. Y'all were in the whatever the Oklahoma
Right. It's like the
public school league is.
OSSAA. Yeah. Yeah, but like we didn't even have a powerlifting like competition at all until like the end of my senior year, and I mean there's only like a couple even boys that do it.
Yeah,
this
crazy.
This is like a foreign world. I grew up in Dallas, so this is very different. Very different than what I'm used to.
Yeah. Y'all were 2A?
1A.
1A. Okay, yeah.
1A.
I went to 1A in Oklahoma. I had 18 in my graduating class.
Man. Yeah,
There's lots of tiny towns in Oklahoma, like super tiny. Like we didn't have football.
Man, y'all didn't have football?
No,
that is really
we played
small.
baseball.
Yeah.
We played baseball in the fall and the spring. We had season in the fall and the season in the spring.
That's what there's a.
Y'all had Texoma has football, didn't it?
Yeah, so in Oklahoma there's no 6-man football, there's 8-man football.
Okay.
But we co-op with the school 10 minutes down the road
Really?
called Goodwill that bumps us up to 11-man.
Really? So y'all have a combined football team?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a pretty common occurrence too.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. It's,
Wow.
It's interesting, but my parents just transferred my younger brother to Stratford, Texas, which it's convenient enough because we live in between Texoma and Stratford anyways, but for football reasons, because I think Texoma's about to go to 8-man anyways.
Really?
And he's 11-man boy. So.
Stratford's a good program too. Home of the Elks. It's a
Yes.
good program to go to if you're
Yeah.
transferring for football. They're always solid.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Cole's going to hit you with our rapid fire section.
Okay.
I sure am.
Go ahead.
Apologies for my voice being a little gone from the game Saturday. It's a little harder to understand me today, but we're gonna fight through it. Cowboys and cowgirls alike find a way. So
I mean, it's been a while. Do you need the questions? I sent them to her this morning. So
I think I got this, but it probably wouldn't hurt to have them because I'm trying to think off the dome. Okay, here we go. All right, this will help quite a bit because usually I get the order wrong when I go off the noggin. All right, Jacqueline, Jackie, JQ, however you like me to address you.
Yeah, whichever.
Whichever?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go. Jackie seems like the popular choice here.
Yeah.
We're going to go Jackie. So, you haven't had a very long career here, but I'm sure it's created a lot of memories, a lot of stuff that comes to mind. When you think of your favorite on-court moment, what would that be in your 2 years here?
Easily last year in the conference tournament when we beat UMHB to advance to the championship the next day. It was a tight game, and we hadn't beat UMHB either time during the regular season, and we beat them just by 1 point at that game, and that just felt good. You know, it always feels good to beat UMHB.
It always does, yeah.
And ended their season, and it was just great.
And that's rare to have that matchup not in the championship game
Yes.
in sports in the conference. That's rare. That's weird to see it in the semifinals as opposed to the championship, which essentially that game was the championship. Whoever won that was probably going to win, but that is an awesome moment. Always great beating the Crusaders. And then y'all seem to have a very tight-knit group of people, very tight-knit team, very close. It probably leads to a lot of fun off-court moments. Do you have any off-court moments that come to your head in terms of your favorite in your time here at HSU?
So we're very fortunate through Hardin-Simmons. You know, we're able to travel a lot, and when we go places, we're fortunate enough and we're blessed that we stay at nice places, and our coaching staff does a great job of feeding us and everything. But I mean, when we go on those trips, like you said, it just helps us form such a close bond. And you know, we laugh all the time. Like, I cannot think of a time where we're not laughing. And so sometimes trips can be long, but I would just say all of the trips that we've always been on, just because there's so many experiences where we've just laughed until, like, I mean, we can't even breathe. And it's just a really good group of girls, and like you said, we're really close. So probably all of our trips.
Is there one trip that stands out in particular?
This last one we just went on was actually really good. So it wasn't, we went to Memphis a few weeks ago, and that was a super fun trip. But this trip, we left on Friday, which was the day after Thanksgiving. And sometimes it's, hard to not be at home, as you know, football. Like, it's hard to not be at home with your family on Thanksgiving, especially the day after. But this is our family. And so we got on the bus, and we were all super happy to be there, and it was just a super great trip. We went and beat Southwestern, and it was a great win, and we just hung out the rest of that day, Saturday and Sunday, and just, like I said, got even closer. And we're a super young group of girls, and we were just able to create some memories and laugh and get
of course. Yeah, and I've seen the Laugh for Y'all's TikTok account pops up from time to time on my For You page, and it's very entertaining. Y'all seem to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, y'all went to Coach Whitehead's brother's house, right?
Yes, that was super fun. That was awesome. Her family's really great, and just put on opened their home up to us, which was really nice, and fed us great food.
Oh, that's always good on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, yes, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, her brother's, if he's at the game, he's the loudest person at the game. No doubt about it, every time. He's all in on cowgirl basketball.
Yeah, they told us, they were like, is anyone here born before the year 2000? And we were like, no. And he was like, well, we've been cowgirl basketball fans before y'all were born. And we were like, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he is. He's a lawyer in Austin area, so yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's nice to get fed too. Some home cooking for Thanksgiving.
It was awesome.
And next rapid fire question. Let's see here. You're shipwrecked out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. There's an island, and unfortunately your ship has run adrift up onto the shores, and there's no way home. If you were to have one teammate to bring to that island with you to help you survive, to keep you company, and we've had a lot of different kinds of answers on this. We've had the practical. We've had somebody bring their girlfriend. We've had somebody that's just fun and entertaining. What route would you take in terms of survival, and who would you bring with you?
Well, teammate-wise, easily Caroline Croft. And the reason I say that is because Caroline's instincts are really smart. She is a very smart person, and I don't really want her to listen to this because it's going to go to her ego, but she would know what to do, and she would be very calm, cool, and collected about it as well.
I like that. That's a good answer. Good to have someone with good instincts on the island with you.
Yes, for sure.
And then let's say you're about to drive to the paint. It's ISO. You're one-on-one. What is your go-to move to break loose?
Probably spin move.
Spin move. All right. Not a crossover or behind. It's spin move.
I mean, I like a crossover too, but spin move's probably my go-to.
I like that, a spin move. It takes a lot of skill, I feel like, to complete that in basketball as well. I was playing in the rec center yesterday, a little 5-on-5, and I tried one, and it was horrendous. So
I want to see you do a spin move.
It was pretty filthy. I almost fell over, and I had to pick it up and pass it. It was bad. So spin move, I like that. It's flashy, it's effective. That's good stuff.
I mean, especially I like to go to the left, and sometimes people try to cut that off, and so boom, just spinning back to the right.
Yeah,
catch them off guard.
There you go. So that's awesome. And then y'all just got back, as you just mentioned, the road trip throughout Texas. To Georgetown, to Whitehead's brother's house, TOU. What is your go-to road trip snack? What are you getting before y'all leave?
Well, I'd have to say some Sour Patch Kids. I like some Sour Patch Kids, and salt and vinegar chips.
Do you have anything to drink?
I'm kind of just a Powerade girl.
All right. All right,
Pretty basic, but
this segues into the branches of these different types of candies. Do you go traditional Sour Patch? Do you go watermelon, strawberries?
okay, either traditional or the pack of just blue. Because the blue ones are the best.
Yes. I forget that they make that now.
Yeah.
That's good.
I
And
do too until I see it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, boom, that's it right there.
salt and vinegar chips, are you going Miss Vicky's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I was about to say, there's really not another answer for
No,
that.
not another one.
Miss Vicky's salt and vinegar is unbelievable.
Oh, yes.
And then flavor of Powerade. Or does it switch?
Well, probably blue.
Oh, the blue one's so
The
good.
blue one, you just can't go wrong with it.
Especially DK has the 3 for $3 deal. Do you know about that?
Oh, no, I don't.
I don't know if it's still going on, but they have a 3 for $3 deal.
Interesting.
And I took advantage of that over the summer, and every time I got all 3 of them were blue. Which is the best flavor by far. And then, do you have a favorite Bible verse that you like to live by? You like to keep on the front of your mind when you're playing, when you're off the court?
Yeah, my favorite verse would probably have to be Ephesians 4:32, which is be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ has forgiven you. And I have to admit, I don't really tell myself that one on the court as much, because on the court it's more like I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But just day-to-day living, I just try to love people and forgive people just because I know I'm not perfect, and I have to remember that no one else is either. So
Yeah, that's a really good one. I like that a lot.
Thanks.
And then pre-game routine, you're about to play UMHB, big conference game. It's a lot of high stakes going on. What is your routine that you use to get locked in for the game?
Okay, so first of all, you look good, you play good. So I got to do my hair and makeup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hair and makeup.
That's just the philosophy I live by. But then I got to eat an Uncrustable.
Strawberry, grape.
So I actually like the ones with honey.
Oh, those are good. Those are
Yes,
really
and
good. The honey ones are great.
And honey's a quick source of energy.
Yes, it is.
So
All right.
it just works out that well. And, of course, I'm going to have a yellow Gatorade on the sidelines as well.
Okay.
Yellow Gatorade, boom. And then I like to stretch before games just to make sure I'm not going to pull any muscles. But mostly hair, makeup, Uncrustable, yellow Gatorade, and stretching. I'm pretty well good after that.
That's good. And then do you listen to music?
Yeah, I do away games, but home games, I'm usually rushing to get my hair and makeup done, so that I'm just kind of rocking to the gym and getting ready to stretch and warm up.
Okay. All right. So away games, do you have any go-to songs that you listen to?
Yes, it's a little unorthodox, but I love the Rocky theme song right before I'm fixing to walk into the gym. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a Rocky fan, so
Okay.
yes.
Do you ever mix in like Burning Heart? It's like the Rocky 4 theme? Do you ever mix in the other Rocky songs?
No.
Or just the
I
main
just stick
theme?
with the OG.
The main theme.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So no Eye of the Tiger. Or...
No, but I like the movies. I like them.
Okay,
I just never
all right.
mix that into my pregame routine.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
But
And
maybe I should try that. Sometime.
well, if that's your routine and it's been working, there's no need to
True,
change it. If it ain't
true.
broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and that's true. That is true.
Yeah. I like that Rocky theme. I might have to try that next year in football.
Okay.
And then, as we wrap up here, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to that's helped you get to where you're at throughout your life, or anybody that is very special to you or close to you that you want to give a shout out?
Yeah, actually, I have a couple people. First of all, Coach Whitehead, because, she believed in me when I was a skinny kid playing AAU ball, and she's always believed in me, and I just love not only how she prepares us as players, but just as people in the real world situations. I have a lot of gratitude towards her, and I'm just thankful for her and for her just giving me a home here at HSU. But I also want to give a shout out to my little brother, because without him and those street ball games that get really physical when we were younger, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah. There you go. And the little sibling, older sibling street ball can get awfully physical
yes.
quick.
Oh, yes. And he's 6 years younger than me, so I've always had a pretty good advantage, but unfortunately he's growing up.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Are y'all going to, whenever you get to go back home, are y'all going to run it back on the court?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
Well, that's
a
it
good
for the rapid fire.
Yeah, Jackie's a great guest.
Indeed, she was.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate you coming in and on short notice. I was glad you were awake when I texted you this morning.
Yes, yeah. Had to get up for that 8 a.m.
Oh, man. The fact that you went to the 8 a.m., I'm not condoning not going to your 8 a.m. after a long road trip.
Everybody wants to see your dad.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
come
How
on.
could you skip James Burke's class?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, best
Come
teacher
on.
ever.
Man.
All right, well, we have the boss man coming in next.
We sure do.
We appreciate it.
Yes,
we
thank
appreciate
you so much for having
And,
me.
John Neese is Dr. John Neese. Doctor. He's the good doctor. He's gonna take your headset.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you. I'll see y'all later.
See ya. All right, well, this is the Hooyah podcast, and now we have the head man of the athletic department.
We sure do.
Man, we're running in high cotton today.
We sure are. I feel like I should have dressed a little nicer.
It's good to be here, and you know, Chad, we've often talked about how some of the days we put in are pretty long, but you know, Cole has played in a varsity athletic game, and on the same day he's gone over and done 2 online broadcasts of soccer.
Yeah, no, he's very good. He's very good.
That's an Iron Man there.
That was a day for
Iron
sure. I crashed very hard after that last soccer game. That was a busy day, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's done a good job for us, and we're very appreciative. Well, 30th year, is that right?
Yeah.
I did that off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah,
30th year.
Yeah.
So that's
a long tenure.
That's a long time. The longest tenured AD at Hardin-Simmons, and I've been fortunate. I've been here with him for 26 of them. So we've been a lot of places and all over the country chasing Hardin-Simmons teams, and it's been a pretty fun run. Now we had a great fall.
It was a lot of fun, and you know, celebrated 4 conference championships, and you know, you never get over the suddenness of when a season ends, and unfortunately for the fall sports, their seasons are over, but all of them had a great time, and I think one of the things that I'll remember about the fall, besides the championship, is just the great support we had. You know, at both of the soccer games at UMHB, our alumni and fans and family turned out really well, and I think everybody could safely say we probably had about 1,000 people at the game on Saturday in Trinity, and
Yeah.
I think that just says a lot about our alumni and our fans and our former players, and I bet if we had, I would guess, Chad, probably 40 to 50 at least former football players.
Yeah, at least that I saw, and
Yeah.
I didn't get to see that many because I was rushing to get people to the press conference. But I know I saw Anthony Christian and several others. But there was a whole group of them.
Yeah. So that's going to be a great memory from this fall, is not only the championships and the postseason participation, but seeing how many of the HSU faithful turned out for that.
Yeah, and like you said, the suddenness is you know, that's one of the toughest parts about it. But
Yeah.
I guarantee you, there was nobody. You know, you hear fans chatter and whatever. There was nobody more heartbroken than those coaches and the players. You know, it wasn't like anything else. I mean, they were. It was a pretty tough scene over there after that. I mean, it always is after you lose, but. You know, it was a great game. It was 2 good teams getting after it. They made one play at the end of the game and won the game. But you know,
Yeah.
it's just that's just what happens. And
Yeah.
and you know, we've talked about this, and we've talked about a little bit here on the podcast. But that's just the way that it's going to be in Division III. The way it's set up right now, we're going to play a team from around here early in the playoffs, and it's probably going to be a good team.
Yeah. And we always try to find the positive ways to look at things. And as I was thinking about this for Saturday, at least with a situation like that, it makes it a lot easier for the parents and the family to see the games rather than, say, if we were to be shipped off to the Northwest. And obviously there's some positives about playing in an environment like that and seeing that part of the country. But I also think, it's one of the advantages, or one of the nice things I should say, about having a bracket like that is, at least for the moms and dads, they're not having to come up with $1,000 for an airline ticket at Christmas time. And so, there's a lot of challenges that we face about playing really good teams right off the bat. But, people who work with me know I'm always trying to find where's the positive in it. And at least for our families and friends, they can go to a game and not have to worry about spending a lot of money on an airline ticket right off the bat.
And the fact of the matter, it's going to be that way. Like our league, California League, the Northwest Conference are isolated, and most of Division III is in a concentrated area. There's a big swath in the Northeast, and there's a big swath in the Midwest, and they can all drive to each other, and it's just going to be like that. I mean, as long as we're in Division III, that's the way it's going to be.
And we can remember in '98 and '99 where it wasn't necessarily that way, but there were fewer teams in the playoffs, and the geography has only gotten more extreme over the years. And so it's just something that I think everybody who gets into it has to realize this is probably what's going to happen. And occasionally we do have an outlier. Say last year when women's soccer went to New Jersey right off the bat, that was something that nobody anticipated. We all thought that we'd probably be hosting a 4-team first, second round, and next thing you know, you're going to New Jersey. So more often than not, we've got a pretty good read on where we're going to go, especially now with NPI.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think now even more so. I mean, we've played Trinity in 3 sports this fall. We're going to play Trinity a lot because they're good in most of their sports. We're good in our sports, a lot of our sports too. And now there's 3 teams, and they're not. They're in the SAA, but there's only 2 teams from Texas in the SAA. Yeah. So you're basically going to have 3 Texas teams now. It's almost guaranteed that the ASC winner, the SCAC winner, and if Trinity or Southwestern wins their league, I mean, those teams are going to play in the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. I mean, it's...
Yeah. And I'm sure with everything that was going on with the initial brackets for soccer and volleyball, that was also going on with the shutdown for the government, and so there was a lot of challenges with flying folks. So I'm sure that at that point the NCAA was also trying to put together a bracket where flights were at a minimum so that major inconveniences weren't causing problems to the bracket. So there's a lot that goes into it, and like with anything else, people see what happens at the top level of Division I, and they expect that should happen all throughout the divisions. But we've talked before, Chad, about how you see this regional matchup at the Division II level, and
their whole they get 8 teams or 16, whatever it is. I mean, but they're playing teams they've played before. Like I know Woody played Texas Women's in the conference championship in the Lone Star, and they turned around and played again in the first round of the NCAA tournament the next weekend at Dallas Baptist. So I mean that's that's
just the reality.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And speaking of that, this is one of the things I wanted to hit on. You've been very involved in the NCAA process. Like you served as the chair of the football committee for 2 years. You were on it for 4, chair for 2, chair for 1. And then was the chair for the women's soccer national committee, and then served on the championships committee. I mean, that's 3 big time. Just talk a little bit about that NCAA process, because a lot of people don't understand what that means.
Yeah, I think first off, it was a great experience working with some of the people on all 3 of those committees. I certainly learned a lot from all the individuals that I spent time with. Some of the selection has obviously changed as far as the process now with NPI. As archaic as this sounds, I remember my first couple of years on the National Football Committee, we were doing our tabulations with pencil and paper, and we were doing it with pencil because some of us aren't the best at math. but we were looking at strength of schedule numbers and trying to use that as part of the criteria. And now you've got everything that you have with NPI. So that's pretty remarkable how much we've seen that kind of change. But in the past, and this is certainly different now, but I think one of the things that helped make Division III pretty unique was that if you were on a national committee, you were responsible for finding people to help staff the regional events, the regional tournaments, regional games, and then part of your requirement was to spend 3 days, 4, maybe 5 at the championship site to help run it. And that was a phenomenal experience, just getting to see things that were going on and how various sites hosted a championship. And it's again been a process to see how the selections have changed over the years. And I know it's real easy, and I tell the folks that I work with at the NCAA that sometimes that they do things that make it easy for them to be a punching bag, but at the same time, there are a lot of great people there who are trying to look out the best for the Division III athlete, and they really are trying to find ways to make each experience something that those athletes are going to take away from, and by no means do they ever view it as a second-class experience or anything like that. They're always trying to come up with the best ways. And a lot of these communities, I should say, that host the championships, you can see the pride that they have in hosting it and what it means to their community. And so I was very fortunate to serve on those committees, and it's certainly been one of the highlights of my professional career.
Yeah, that's always when you get to see how other people do things around. I mean, there's things that you can take that you have taken. Like, I blame him for this. Dr. McGraw used to be in the other booth at football, and they had a game where there was a clock issue, and it cost somebody, like in the semis or quarters, or
it was the semifinals.
It cost somebody. So now your clock operator has to be separate from your press box. So now I have to sit next to Dr. McGraw,
and that's my fault.
and that's his fault. He put that in. Now he was on the national committee when that happened, and literally it is a good thing. And I love Dr. McGraw. I just threatened to throw him out the window a few times.
You'll be up there soon, Cole. You'll see what it's like.
Oh, it's definitely interesting for sure. But talk a little bit about. It's been it's probably been longer than that, all the way back to Mississippi College leaving. But it's been a 6, 7, 8 year process of total uncertainty with the American Southwest Conference and what we were going to do. Were we going NAI? Were we going Division II? Were we staying Division III? And just talk a little bit about that long process.
Yeah, it certainly is something that when I think back to when Fred Jacoby, who was our first commissioner, was putting this all together, and I always remember him saying that we need to build a league as much as close to we can as a 12 to 16 team league, so that nobody can ever hijack the league, and that you always want to have options, and you always want to have a geographic footprint where people can feel like they can go and play a conference schedule and not have to spend a lot of money to do it. But when Mississippi College made their decision to go to Division II, that took away a football opponent. Belhaven came in, and then they wound up moving conferences. And so probably, undoubtedly, the last year and a half was probably the most challenging in trying to look at doing different things. And there were a lot of things that David Flores, who served as our commissioner at that time, and the 4 ADs at ETBU, myself, Howard Payne, and Mary Hardin Baylor, we looked at a lot of things behind the scenes, and some of them were out in the public. It was very evident that we were looking at potentially some sort of alliance with the coast to coast, and that had, like any relationship, some positives and some negatives. But I was glad that we got to the point where we were able to make the announcement earlier in the year that McMurray and Schreiner were returning. I think from a geographic footprint, again, it makes a lot of sense for them to be with us. I think it could potentially open the door for some other schools in Texas to reconsider their conference affiliation. And I think what we've got going now is a really good product. Our new commissioner, Leslie Schumann, I think she understands that one of the things that the presidents wanted her to do and is expected of her is to help us build this conference again. And so I know that she's reaching out and making connections, and with her background, she's got experience in doing this. So I'm just appreciative of the fact that our administration was prepared to do whatever we needed to do to stay Division III, and if that meant that we were doing things like we are this year, which is really tough on our coaches and athletes and families and athletic trainers and sports information and everybody else. But, we've got teams, as Jackie was talking about, her travel schedule. And we had to do that to fill a solid Division III schedule. Next year will be a little bit easier, and it's my hope that in the years to follow that we won't have to schedule as many non-conference games where we're having to send teams all over the country. But I think that our league has a good reputation of schools that follow the D3 principles and models, and you look at the facilities at each of the schools, and it's evident that athletics plays a strong role in the enrollment and the success of those campuses. And so you just never know. And really, you think back to just how much has changed since 2020 with COVID, and from 2020 to today, not only the changes we've seen at Division III, but look at college athletics in general. 2018, if we were doing a podcast and Cole started talking about, I'm going to do something to where I'm going to be able to get money for being an athlete by selling products, or, I'm going to go on Facebook and get money for that, you and I would go, Cole, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And
that might be illegal in some ways at that time, too.
Well, sure. And so we all have to deal with change. And one thing, and Chad and I have talked about this, people my age get sometimes accused of not being able to adjust to change well, and I'll agree with that to a certain point. But college students don't like change either. It's tough for all of us to adapt to change, and we've had a lot of changes, but our folks have figured out ways to make it the best they can for their programs.
We've talked about this, but I think the biggest way you judge a leader is not how you lead when it's good. It's pretty easy to be a good leader when everything's going good. When it's not going good, I feel like that's when John's strengths are the best. I mean, I think, COVID, nobody know anywhere in the government, in NCAA, the ASC, nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And it was a different situation every day. And I really appreciate it because, our coaches don't know what's going on. Trainers don't know what's going on. The players don't know what's going on. I felt really good about that whole situation because of how he led us through that. I mean, had to be the toughest situation in anything you've done. And
yeah, it was tough for everybody because there was so much uncertainty out there. And I think I always remember when we had that maybe 3 or 4 days before the students left, and we thought, well, maybe we'll have some students on campus this semester, and then it was evident nobody was going to have students on campus. And that was just one of those times where you're thinking, what is our future, and how are we going to make this thing work? And Chad's heard this a lot, Cole, in our staff meetings, but I always mention all of the challenging times that our athletic department and campus has gone through, and it's one of those things just to remind myself and others that we've had some tough times before, and we figured it out, and we're going to do it again. And I think that's evident by how our coaches have handled things. And I think our league was very much at the forefront going back to COVID, and having athletes back out and doing things and participating. And I think they appreciated the fact that our leadership as an administration was willing to say, okay, what all do we have to do? And all of the efforts that we spent on testing and, working with Hendrick across the street to make sure that our tests were being done in time. And there was a couple of times when we had some challenges with getting that done. But I think at the end of the day, everybody said whatever the challenge is financially with this COVID testing and the inconvenience of doing it so many hours before a game and all of that, that was something that we needed to do and keep it going. And I think that we never really felt like our momentum stopped from COVID. I think once we're able to get people back out there and doing things in the fall and spring, I felt like that when we got back for full classwork in that fall of 21, that we were not having to play catch up anywhere.
Yeah. And I will say that fall of 20 spring of 21 was by far the biggest challenge we ever had. We had all of our teams playing at one time. We had soccer games going on when there's football game and volleyball and basketball. I mean, they were all playing at the same time. I mean, it was and how we got through that, I still don't know how, but it happened.
And the great thing about that is you look back on it and none of us complained, and part of that was because we were getting to go to work. Yeah.
we'd sit around and
not really been able to do what we enjoy doing and what we got in the profession for. And we were able to do it, and we also realized, hey, we owe it to these athletes to be able to provide some sort of experience and give them some sort of normalcy from what had happened in the fall and the previous summer. And I remember we had a soccer game going on, and we were finishing up a track meet, and I think we had the track lights on to help with the soccer game. I mean, it was just a crazy day out there, but I want to say maybe we were playing McMurray, and so we had a bunch of people out there for that, and we had the track meet going on, so it was just it was a pretty unique thing. But that was something that I think all of us look back on and go, if we could make it through all of the craziness that brought on to us, we can figure out ways to make it through some of these other issues.
Well, we got, we're through that. We're through the conference. We won 4 conference championships in the fall. Expect some good things in the spring. Maybe we're on the other side of that, and now, start building again.
Yeah, I hope so, and I think that things are looking that way. Right now for football, we've got 8 games scheduled for next year that are on the books. Well, there's been times in the past when, at this point of the year, we may have 5 games.
Yeah.
And so to be on the lookout for 2 games right now, I think Coach Burleson probably feels like he's certainly ahead of the previous years.
Yes.
And so, and I think also with the other scheduling and our coaches have done a great job with this year, because we've just basically, I think they all understand that this year with scheduling is, let's just get from point A to point B. Let's just do whatever we have to do to get through this year. Next year will be better, and we're going to continue to hold out hope that this league will grow and expand in the future. And so some of the things that we have to do this year won't have to be repeated. But if they are, I know that in typical HSU fashion, whoever's doing it's going to have a great attitude, and those athletes are going to feel like this is the best thing they're doing.
Now you got a new sport coming. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we've got flag football on the horizon, and we're all learning about that. One of the things I think that's unique about flag football is that in January, the NCAA membership will vote to make it an emerging sport. I think that if there are 40 Division III schools sponsoring it, that then the NCAA provides the national championship for it. And so I think they've got to be very close to that. And all the schools in the ASC next year will offer it, so that will help with scheduling. And here in Texas, I think the UIL will, within the next 3 to 4 years, I think they'll add it to the menu of items for athletic participation, and that will help. And then if you watch any NFL over the last year, you've seen how much that they're putting into flag football and to growing the sport. And so we hope that we'll be able to hire a coach early spring, and then have our first full season in the fall, meaning the spring of 27. And so it's something that not a lot of people have an extensive background with. So we're all going to be learning at the same time.
You ready to call those games, Cole?
I'm more than ready.
That's going to be. That's going to be.
That'll be an adjustment, but
spring sport. You got to figure that out.
Yeah, it's softball.
You have a job.
Football,
You have a job
baseball.
right now. You have. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I look forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun.
And then we have another thing coming up in the end of January, which is fun for us. I mean, we were both here during the time, but the 20-year anniversary. I can't believe it's been 20 years, but of the Final Four team, the women's basketball Final Four team.
Yeah. And Cole, one of the great things about that, and I think the reason that Chad and I have such a fond memory of that is, obviously they were a successful team, but, that team gets knocked out in the first round of the conference tournament. And I remember waiting to visit with Coach Briggs after the game, and I wound up leaving the gym, the Coliseum there, MC, because they were just in the locker room for so long. And what was going on then was they were basically saying, okay, next year, how are we going to be more accountable? And so they basically went around the locker room, the story is, and talked about how they're going to be accountable to each other. And then because they figured, okay, our season's over. We're done. We're not getting an at-large bid. And help me if I've got this wrong, Chad, but on Sunday night, I think you were the only person watching the selection show, and you called one of the coaches and said, "You're in," and her response was,
I probably can't say it exactly, but she said, you better not be messing with me.
Yeah. and so I tell you all that, and I share it with you because now all of that accountability, that had to go into place on Monday for their first practice of the postseason. And you could just sense, and that team had to go play at McMurray right off the bat. And you can imagine what kind of
Who had just won the league.
Yeah.
what kind of atmosphere that was. They beat McMurray. The next night they beat Howard Payne. The next weekend they go to the Pacific Northwest, beat Pacific Lutheran on their home court in overtime in one of the strangest games. Rachel Cisneros bracket. They gave her a foul that she didn't have. We went into overtime. I want to say there was some clock controversy going on.
The whole game.
Yeah.
Their clock situation, scorebook situation was wrong the whole day.
It was just a real challenging situation. They fought through that. The next night had to play Randolph-Macon in the Player of the Year. They get the win and then go on to the Final Four. And
In front of about 15 fans.
Yeah.
Randolph-Macon comes all the way from Virginia, all the way to the Pacific Northwest, all the way up to Pacific Lutheran. We're out there. I mean, we had a few fans. They had a few fans. But there were no Pacific Lutheran fans. There were no anybody else. I mean, it was an Elite Eight game, and there couldn't have been 100 fans in the gym.
Man, that's crazy.
But I think, again, it's obviously a special story in the fact that you have a team that goes to the Final Four, but the whole accountability, and this is what we're going to do from here on out, and then for the reality of, okay, well, I said I was going to do this next year, and I'm going to have to do it now. It just was a great story, and the travel for those games was something that we'll always remember, and just a really special team, and I'm glad we were able to recognize them. And like you, it's hard to believe that that's been 20 years ago.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
That one of my favorite parts of that whole thing was it was in Springfield. We went to Springfield, Massachusetts, where the Final Four was, and we went to the Basketball Hall of Fame. And when the girls were there, one of our players' mom, who had played at Stephen F. Austin, is actually in a picture that she didn't even know she was in there. That they saw at the Hall of Fame. Her mom was actually in there. So that was a pretty good deal. And in that group, there's still several of them that are around here, and you see them a lot. So it'll be fun to have all of them back January 31st.
January 31st.
When we play Howard East Texas Baptist. East Texas Baptist, yeah. And that will be that'll be a good celebration. Well, we appreciate you coming in. It kind of got long today. We had two great guests with
guests.
lots of good information. But and this is going to be our last one of the semester. We'll pick back up in January, probably the first week of school. We'll pick back up. But we missed last week, and I get a few messages. Hey, are we having a podcast this week? So at least there's a few people out there listening to it. So
people are waiting for it. They're chomping at the bit.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, no doubt about it. We've had good success with this, and people enjoy it. So we're going to keep doing it, and like I said, appreciate you coming in.
Well, thank you guys
Yes,
for
sir.
doing this and anything we can do to recognize our athletes. And I appreciate the format that you guys have and having athletes come in so that folks who may watch them play, they can learn a lot about them and see what brought them to Hardin-Simmons. And, obviously listening to Jackie's story is pretty neat about how she wound up here, and says a lot about Coach Whitehead and her efforts. And so I appreciate you guys putting the effort to do it. And Cole, thanks not only for your help in doing this, but for all the other things that you do in announcing and broadcasting our games. Chad
Yes,
and I
sir. Absolutely.
have said we're very fortunate we've got you here as a student.
I appreciate y'all.
We might add some more degree requirements before you can graduate. So we can keep you around.
Keep you around here forever. All right. Well, that's the end of this Hooyah podcast. I'm Chad Grubbs.
And I'm Cole Burke.